How's it going, guys? Declan here with an updated video on how the League of Legends rank system works. So I did make a video about this like a couple months back, but I felt that it was a bit dated now that season 6 is like on the horizon. It's coming out, like the rank resets are out tomorrow, so I definitely felt like I should make a new video for all those who haven't ranked yet or didn't really know how it worked. So I'll give the same background as before. I went onto the Summoner School subreddit and kind of asked how ranked works, because it doesn't really give a clear description on the League of Legends client. So I posted on Reddit and someone answered, and I thought I should make a video about it, just, you know, to kind of reach out to more people who don't really know how it works. There are still some things that are going to be changed or added. I'm playing on EU West, so some of the season 6 changes to ranked have already been implemented to NA, so these aren't like 100% confirmed, as they're still kind of changing stuff, but for the most part we are getting a dynamic queue and then a separate solo queue, but that could be subject to change at a later date. So if you're watching this video like a way later date and you wonder why I'm talking about something that doesn't even exist, that's probably why, because Riot decided to change it. But for the most part, this is like concrete what's happening at the moment. So I'll go over how ranked works first, and then I'll go over how dynamic queue and solo queue is going to work after. So this is the basic structure of how placements work. I apologize for the kind of crappy like image quality. I had to take it from my last video and I didn't actually have like the video project saved, so I had to take pictures from my last video and put it into this video. So I apologize for the poor quality, but I'll try my best to compensate. So to put it simply, if you've never placed before, you'll have to play 10 games and you'll place in a random division and tier depending on how you played, obviously. And if you have placed before, you only have to play 5 games, but you're placed dependent on how you played and where you ranked in a previous season. So you can say that if you've ranked in a previous season, it could hold you back, but you also, you know, can judge how far you've got in a season or two depending on where you were placed in a previous rank. So I'll jump straight into ranked, as this one's pretty short. The main thing you're going to want to be looking out for is your LP, which you can clearly see. You can just see that whenever, if you just go on your profile. But MMR is like a secret rating that you don't actually get to find out unless you can go on a certain website. You can find out, which I'll show that to you later. But what's going to happen is you'll gain or lose LP if you win or lose, but you'll also gain and lose MMR depending if you win or lose as well. So MMR is going to determine who you play with. So the higher MMR you have, the higher rated people you'll play with, and vice versa. So your main So your main objective is to obviously win, which is easier said than done, and you kind of need to win continuously so you can kind of get on a streak of raising your MMR, which means you'll play with better people, and that means that when you win, you'll actually win more LP because the games are like going to be a bit harder. And if you keep rising and rising, like that's how you get better. You have to play with better people. You know, you'll lose, but if you do lose with a high MMR, you'll lose less LP to compensate for that. So once you get to 100 LP, one of two things will happen. If you can move from one tier to another, you'll only play 3 games, so from Silver 5 to Silver 4. But if you can move from one division to another, you'll have to play 5 games. So from Silver 1 to Gold 5. Riot's actually recently added a promo helper. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but so as far as I know, it works in the way that if you get into a promo, you get a free win. And if you, for example, get demoted from Silver 3 to Silver 4 and you go back to your Silver 3 promos and you've already won it, you'll just pass the promos just for getting into it. So that can really help the lower tiers kind of rank up a bit easier. But it works all the way up to Gold 2, I believe, but I'm not 100% sure on that again. But yeah, and vice versa, if you keep losing and you keep losing, you end up on 0 LP. Then normally the next time you lose, you will get demoted a rank, which is pretty depressing, but you kind of have to think that your MMR will be that low, so you know games are going to be easier. It should be easier for you to carry if you are like decent at carrying, but the games in general will be easier, and if you're good enough, it won't be a problem. Like, it'll only be a matter of time before you do actually raise in rank. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. There's not much more to it, to be honest. It's just that secret value behind it that is really going to determine where you place, because MMR like affects everything, and you kind of don't realize it until you think, wait, why am I losing so much for these games, and why am I winning so little for winning these games? So yeah, that's basically how it works. So what I'm going to be showing you now is op.gg. It's a pretty amazing site. I suggest you have a deeper look into this after the video, but this is just the basic structure of it. What you're going to want to be looking at is your check MMR. This just shows your average MMR, and so it's normal for my rank, which is silver 4 because I'm a silver 4 scrub, and the average MMR for the league. But the video's getting a bit long, so I'll end it here. I definitely advise you to have a look at op.gg, as you can view your match history, you can look at just your ranked games, and you can see your win rate, stuff like that, which is all well and good. But I'll be getting off, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.